Holiday season is here, and so is the drama that comes with it. I'm just coming straight out of this group session that I led today on triggers and how to navigate those triggers during the holiday season. Inside the group today, we spoke about how the holiday season becomes all about planning, responsibility, family dynamics, and we forget the essence of the holidays, which is basically to enjoy, spend time with family and your loved ones without feeling obligated. We discussed a lot of things, and I realized this is something that everybody can actually use in their lives. So, I want to share two reframes for you if you are somebody who plans a lot, like there's a lot on your table right now, on your table and plate right now, where you are in charge of the decoration, you're in charge of the food, you're in charge of a lot of things, and ultimately you end up thinking to yourself, why is this my responsibility? Why am I the only person who's planning all of this? Why am I the only person who's thinking about this? So I want to give you two reframes, and I will also share a framework that I shared with my clients in order for us to celebrate this holiday season in the best way possible for us. This is for a self-led woman from a self-led woman. So, the first reframe that I want to give you is about this feeling of why am I the only person who's responsible for this? Let me give you my example. So, 21st December is my birthday, and I want to have the best birthday. And I wanted to book a resort for myself. And I am the person who's always planning things, right? So, if I'm going on a trip with my friends, I would be the one who will think about the tickets, book the flights, book the hotel, or have the itinerary ready, even with my family, even with my siblings. Like, I am the one who does it. And more often than not, I've felt this. Why am I the only person who's responsible for this? Why am I the only person who's looking for these things? And today, when I sat to figure out where to go for my birthday, and I was actually getting frustrated once again because I was like, again, this is on me. Like, this is my birthday. I want somebody to plan for it. And instead, here I am thinking about all these things once again, trying to figure out the best way possible for us to reach there, trying to figure out the best resort for us in our budget and all of that. But there was a shift that happened this time. Even though I was feeling frustrated for some time, then I asked myself, will I be more satisfied? Will I be more happy when on my birthday I am in that resort? Or will I actually be more happy if I am in my house because I could not go there because I was hoping for somebody else to plan it? And the answer was pretty clear. It was more important for me to be there. So I booked my ticket and I felt satisfied after it. I did not feel frustrated afterwards because I am a self led woman. I choose this. Earlier, also, I would have done the same thing, but I would have felt obligated to do it. But this time, when I did it, because it's my birthday and I want to celebrate in a certain way, I want this experience for myself and I want to share it with people who I love. So for me, it does not matter who does it. And if somebody has to do it, it rather be me because I know myself the best. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And I want to experience this luxurious trip that I want to give to myself. I am a self led woman. I choose this. This is not my responsibility, but I get to do it. And that shifted the entire process, right? So many times we do things and we'll end up ultimately doing the same thing, but we will restrict it so much, we'll put so much friction into it that ultimately the joy of having that experience is not even there anymore. So I choose not to do it. Like, I get to be joyful, and for me, what is more important right now is for me to have an experience like that which I have envisioned for myself on my birthday. So if nobody is going to do it, if anybody is going to do it, let it be me. I get to have a special birthday and I get to create it and I get to book tickets for it and I get to do all of that. I'm so happy to do it. So that's the reframe that I want to give you. It does not mean that I am going to overdo it. I'm going to take more responsibilities than I want. The reframe is that if anybody will do it, and if it's for me, if it's something that I really care about, it's rather be me than anybody else, because I'll ensure that I have the best experience and other also get to experience that. Now, the second reframe that I want to offer to you is that silence is power. It's not a weakness. And this is something that came up during a conversation in that group discussion that I was talking about. So, one of my clients told me how during conversations with her family and in-laws, sometimes they would say something that would not sit right with her, and she would get triggered, and in that moment she would not speak up, and ultimately she would feel guilty about not speaking up. And that made her believe that if I'm silent, it means I'm weak. If I'm not speaking up, it means I'm people pleasing. So I asked her a question: would you feel more satisfied if you spoke up, or would you feel more satisfied because you chose peace, knowing that conversation would not change anything? Because there are some people who would never change. There are some people who just trigger you because they trigger you. Like, yeah, they are there in your life to trigger you. And we can choose to work on those triggers in different ways. We can sometimes actually let ourselves get triggered because that lead to difficult conversations and that brings meaningful changes. But sometimes, and depending on what are you prioritizing right now. So for my client, it's so important that she is peaceful, because when she's peaceful, she's not going into self-sabotage mode. She's not going into I'm weak or I'm this or I'm that. When I asked her this question, would you be satisfied if you spoke up? Or would you be more satisfied if you stayed silent, knowing that engaging will not do any good to you or the people involved? She said something very beautiful. She said, I will still stay silent because not that I'm weak, but it is my choice. I'm choosing to stay silent because my priority is peace. We have gone so much deeper into understanding what are her real values. So, her real values are peace, connection, community, harmony. So, for her, now earlier, what used to happen, even if when she didn't speak up, she would feel guilty. But this time, she's still choosing not to speak up. But her not speaking up is not out of I am weak or I'll be seen as weak. It is because this is my value. I know I have had enough experiences, I have had enough discussions with these people to know that nothing will change. So instead of me trying to change them by becoming angry, I am actually going to stay silent because silence is powerful and it is my decision. And now I'm doing not out of obligation, but I'm actually choosing this. I'm deciding it. And I am still valuing my value. Her value earlier was still peace. So she was in alignment with her value, yet she was labeling it as it's something weak. Now that we are aware of her values and her beliefs, everything is now in more alignment. She is no longer abandoning herself. Because the problem was not that she was not speaking up. The problem was her not speaking up. She was labeling it as being weak, being a people pleaser. But she is not anymore. And that's powerful. You don't have to speak up in every situation. You can choose to speak up in some and not speak up in others. You can also choose to get triggered. Sometimes you get triggered and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you can allow yourself to get triggered because some triggers are important. You get in triggered, maybe you find something meaningful after. There's a shift that happens in you and people around you through that trigger and how you respond to it. But it is so much more important to be regulated, to act according to your values in that trigger, because ultimately you will have to do a lot of work on forgiving yourself for behaving in that way. But how we really want to respond is based on our value alignment and not on what we think people will think. The power lies in your ability to know where to speak up and where to be silent, because both, when done in an empowered way, are powerful. Now, the last thing that I want to share is the exact framework that be discussed. So I cannot have a discussion with you because there is no live audience, but I would love to know your answers in the comments, and I can actually help you with those answers in the comments itself. But this is the simple framework for you to navigate trigger during the holiday season. Number one is asking yourself, what do I want to experience this holiday season? Most of the times, we are not clear on what exactly we want, and that's why we get swayed away by everybody else's emotions, and we then feel like it was not even a restful holiday. So instead, can I be clear on what exactly the do I want to experience from this holiday season? Okay, so that's your first step of this framework. Now, the second is, what are your non-negotiables? What are something that you really want to experience? Right. Like the first question, you're just getting clear on everything, like a list, maybe 10 things. But non negotiables are some things that would make it like the most satisfying thing for you. And you're going to ensure that you are going to have these experience, and you're going to be a self led woman or self led man there. And you're not going to allow or wait for somebody else to do it for you. Okay. So that is your non negotiables are for you, that this is what I want to experience, and I'm going to ensure that I will make it happen for me. So it could be even when the entire family is here, and I will still find 1 hour to sit with myself and do my meditation or do my journaling, or you allowing yourself to rest. What is your non negotiable for this holiday season? Okay, now the third is, what tools can I use when I get triggered? Because we can plan for anything, but there are so many moving parts, there's so many other people involved that our plans do not actually really work most times. So, what are the tools in my toolkit that I can use when I might get triggered? You might be working with a therapist or a coach. That can you ask them to be on call or on text with you available? Can I journal? Can I do deep breathing? Like for my clients, we do all sorts of things. Like there is this beautiful journaling concept that I've shared with them that they use on a daily basis. Then I have also shared this breath work that I do, IIE breath work. I can share more about it if you want in the comments. So, different tools that you can use in order for you to regulate yourself. It's very important that you already are aware of the tools that you can use during such times, so that one triggering moment does not end up making your entire holiday season like a lost cause. You get to still have the most joyful holiday season, even if you had moments of triggers, right? So that's the next thing. What tools can I use? Ask yourself, have those tools ready, integrate them already in your life, so that eventually, when if that moment arises, you will have easier access to them. Then the fourth question that I have for you is, what am I gifting myself this season? This can be a material gift, because why not? But this also gets to be an intangible gift. Like, for example, my client said that this holiday season, I'm going to allow myself to have more ease into my life and do less work. So, what is it that you're gifting yourself this holiday season? With these two reframes, that I get to do this because I love it, I enjoy it, and I am a self led woman, and it is not my responsibility, but I get to do it. And choosing to be silent or choosing to speak up, knowing that you are powerful nonetheless, right? Knowing that your power is not because what you do, but who you are, which is inherently beautiful, amazing human being. I hope this was helpful. This is the simple framework that you can use. What is it that I want to experience? Be clear on that. What is my non negotiable, and how will I ensure that I have those things happen to me? Then, next is, what are my tools for my toolkit that I can use if I get triggered? And fourth is, what am I gifting myself? I hope you have a magical, beautiful, amazing self led holiday season this season, because you deserve it.